What's up everyone, welcome back to my top 10 setups of the day series. Before we get started, make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel to see more of these amazing setups. On today's episode, we're starting off with a fun and relaxing setup from Greco, who wants to show off their new work from home and gaming setup. Right off the bat, we've got a dual monitor setup featuring a main horizontal LG monitor, and then they've got an attached vertical Dell monitor. Also on the desk is a Logitech mouse on a Rizzler desk mat, as well as a Corsair Crystal 280X PC case. I love how the mouse and the PC have some sweet green RGB that matches well with the plant and with the wallpapers, giving the whole build a nice cohesive colour scheme. Up next, we've got any streamer's dream setup courtesy of REEMPUPGAMING. This setup has monitors galore, with 4 different Samsung monitors, an AOC monitor, and what looks to be a Legion laptop. For their other peripherals, you can also see a Razer mouse and a matching white Razer Black Widow light keyboard. I really love the amount of screen room this setup provides you with, which is especially useful for streaming. However, I would love to see some extra decor and lighting to help set it apart and make it a bit more unique. Next up on the list is a fun, pop culture heavy build from LINKXBOY. First off, we've got a dual display setup featuring 2 mounted LG monitors, which are mounted nicely to preserve desk space. Below this, we've got a Logitech keyboard, as well as what appears to be a Logitech mouse. I love the adorable decorations around the desk that adds a lot of character without being too obnoxious or cluttering up the desk. Of course, I also have to shout out the sweet lighting. We see a lot of RGB on this channel, but we don't see setups that utilise 3 different colours that often. I'm a huge fan of it. Here we've got a fun combination that we don't get to see too often in the form of this minimalist neon setup from QUESTFORTHEGOODLIFE. Starting on the right, we've got a ThinkPad laptop which appears to be powering the whole build. Below that is a Razer mouse on a matching Razer mousepad, helping add to the RGB of the whole setup and matching the blue half of the wallpaper. Over on the far left of the setup, we've got a very eye-catching and recognisable Tilted Nation RGB headphone stand that also adds to the build's RGB. I love the use of both the red and the blue RGB, but I'd like to see a bit more added to this build to separate from others like it. Here we have another minimalist build, this time from Profil 404. Starting off with the gorgeous desk, it's made from a custom wood desktop combined with the iconic IKEA Alex drawer. On the main section of the desk you can spot some sweet peripherals, including a Logitech MK700 and a Logitech MX Master 2S resting on top of an Orki mousepad. All of that gear is sitting beneath a nice wide LG 38UC99 monitor. You can also spot their PC below the desk, which features an MSI Z390 Gaming Pro Carbon, an Intel Core i7-9700K, an MSI GeForce RTX 2080 Ti, a DDR4 Corsair Dominator Platinum, Samsung 970 Pro Seagate Baruda Core Pro, all tucked inside the Fractal Design Define R6 PC case. Coming in at our number 5 spot on our list is this super neat futuristic looking build from Axel. Starting off with the gear, we've clearly got a fan of Logitech on our hands, as it looks like they've got a Logitech keyboard, mouse and speakers. I especially like the RGB in this setup, with the great backlighting around the desk, which helps separate it from the wall and give it a super unique look. That paired with the super unique PC case really helps set this setup apart from the other minimalistic setups. I also like that they've added a desk lamp with warm light, as it helps break up the cool light coming from the LEDs, and it keeps everything from being too straining on the eyes like a lot of other LED heavy builds. Next on the list, we've got another blue themed icy build, with this one coming from username SHARGATH. Here we've got an LG Forward 3 UD79B display with some Philips Hue backlighting and an icy blue. Flanking the monitor is a pair of KEF LSX speakers that can be used for some great audio, or if you want something more personal, then the OP has you covered with a pair of Audio-Technica ATH M50X headphones. Beneath the speakers we've got a Keychron K2 keyboard and a Logitech MX Master 3 mouse, as well as an iPad Pro 11-inch. I think the monochromatic palette of this setup works really well, and I'm a huge fan of the way the wallpaper fits in with the rest of the build. Moving away from the colourful RGB and the LEDs of the past few builds, we've got this super bright and warm setup from JS Now. For gear, we're looking at some Samsung monitors, a Logitech mouse, the ever recognisable Nanoleaf lights, and a fantastic looking NZXT case. The bright light and clean desk space makes this area seem perfect for working from home, and it makes me want to buckle down and be productive. I also like the wallpapers that add a nice pop of colour to the build without being too obnoxious or distracting. With our number 2 pick, we're moving back into a colourful build, this time with a Naruto themed setup from Relative Section 386. Obviously, one of the coolest things in this setup is the OP's PC, mounted up on the wall above the AOC monitor. It works twofold, both serving as a functional way to store the PC, whilst also adding some really cool and unique decor to the room. Down below the AOC monitor, we've got a rackless keyboard with some fun keycaps that match really well with the RGB in the build. One of my favourite things about this whole setup has to be the copious amounts of Naruto merch, which adds plenty of character to the fun, colourful build. Finishing off our list is this super extensive and gorgeous build from Hexical, and it features an Element monitor, an AOC monitor, and a 3D printed tofu keyboard case with silk milkshake switches and an Akko Neon Acer keycaps. And they've also got a Razer mouse. This build is absolutely heightened by the amazing lighting supplied by the Nano Leaf lights and the Goode LINKX bars. Everything about this setup is clearly incredibly deliberate and well thought out, and in the end it seems like a great work from home station and gaming area. And that is the end of the list. Check out a description for a list of a lot of the gear that I've mentioned in the video. If you want to see more of these incredible setups, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe with notifications on so that you don't miss the next episode. Leave a comment down below on which setup you think should have been number 1.